So here's the big three questions I have for you today. First, do you really enjoy what you do? Number two, do you really have the freedom to do what you want to do? And number three, are you on a path to retire? And what if this one video could change your trajectory and your path to those three things? So my name is Kevin Johnson. I'm the CEO of Leverage Consulting, as well as the creator of Leverage U, an online university. In this video, and what I really want to talk to you about today, are those three questions. Are you having less stress? Are you really enjoying what you're doing? Are you really on this path to freedom? And freedom I want to define for you in a minute. And are you really on this path to retire and retire comfortably? So here's the thing. And I want you to think about this for a minute, and this might be something you want to write down. This might be something that you literally may need to go to other advisors with. This is something I work with clients on all the time. This is something that I help them with because in the end, these things that I'm talking about, these questions that I have for you, are the very things that I work with clients on. And I want you to think about yourself in your practice and whether, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are these things? Because it's not a either or, a great or a bad type of situation. It's really more of on a scale of, say, 1 to 10. 10, I have no stress. I thoroughly love what I do, and so on. So consider this for a minute. If hypothetically, your practice had $2 million in collections, if it's something different than that, that's okay. You can kind of adjust for this along the way. But let's just say if your practice or where you practice within a practice, so sometimes if you have multiple doctors, you have multiple practitioners, but let's just say within the practice, whether you're a standalone or you're with other doctors, let's just say your collections are $2 million. With that, what if you were to increase your profitability by 10%? And some of you might think, oh, that's impossible. And some of you might think, well, that's totally possible, but I really just don't know how. What if, because this may become the fuel to you actually really hyper focusing on this and figuring out how you're going to change and reduce your overhead by 10%. So if you were to reduce your overhead by 10% in that same kind of practice, you would see an additional $200,000 per year. Many practitioners right now have struggled with, how do I do that? And some have looked to external sources, but I can tell you it's within you to make this happen. So what if that bottom line number changed by $200,000? So over a 10-year time period. Now, mind you, I don't know how old you are, and I'm not going to ask, but let's just say hypothetically, over the next 10 years, you collect another $200,000 per year. So you institute that change today, and you realize that $200,000 for the next 10 years. That means you will have collected $2 million extra. Now the cool part is, one more what if, you were to take that money and not spend it, not do anything else with it, not go have fun, don't go buy nice watches, a boat, or another home or anything like that. You're literally going to say, I'm going to live off of what I had, but I am going to take all this money, this extra money that I've got, I'm going to work with my accountant, I'm going to work with my financial advisor, and I'm going to funnel all that money into some kind of investment. So I'm not the financial advisor, I'm not the CPA, but I am the guy that helps my clients realize this kind of dream sometimes, because this is somewhat of a middle position that is oftentimes missing in the equation of how a practitioner such as yourself is able to realize a 10% change to the bottom line, so they can then take that money with their CPA and their financial advisor. So you realize this, and after 10 years, and each year you take that $200,000 and you with your accountant and your financial advisor, you invest it, and that just with an 8% rate of return. I say just, some of you are going to realize a lot better than that. Some of you might need to work on realizing that. But hypothetically, if you were to realize an 8% rate of return each year as this amount grows, you would have $3.1 million extra, $3.1 million you did not have before. So my question to you is, what's your big number? What is the big number that you need to retire? If you've not worked on that yet, you need to go see your financial planner and figure out what is that big number that you need to retire, because maybe you've already got a nest egg now. Maybe you already have a number that in mind that I need this to retire. So the question is, would you continue working and realize that number? Would you just continue on the same path? And let's just say you were planning to work until you're 62, hypothetically. You're going to work until you're 62, but if you would have this extra 3.1 million, would you retire earlier? Or would you retire with a bigger nest egg? So this becomes a fun game. And guess what? You are 100% in control of this entire scenario. You have the ability to influence how this works out for you. So again, when you're looking at your practice, because the practice is the machine, the practice is the thing that you, over the years, you went to dental school, you may have gone to a specialty program and a residency, and now you're out, you're practicing, and you're making a living. You're a technician, highly compensated, very professional technician. And your day-to-day efforts, every day that you work, is one day towards your retirement. It's one day towards the 3 questions that I asked you in the beginning. So the first is your stress levels. And I'm guessing that you would agree with me that when you are more financially secure, you feel less stress. And when you have that stress level, it tends to flow over into other things. So it could be you're stressed out over finances. It could be stressed out over the fact that you feel like you're on a treadmill and you just keep going to work every day. You keep doing the same thing over and over, and it's just to pay the bills the next time. And when we talk about this, it's your bills for the practice, and it's your bills at home, because it's one thing leads to the next. So really narrowing down and getting your finances in order, getting not only the financial statement, the income statement, the overhead, the profitability dialed in the practice is going to flow over into your home life. And then the home life circles back to the office. So when you are looking at your practice and you're looking at your stress levels, is your stress level financially influenced? And if it is, then getting on this path to increase your profitability by 10% is one of those things that would reduce your stress level. The next thing is your freedom. Your freedom is really your freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. Your freedom might be, I'm going to take some time off. Your freedom might be that you want to be able to go on a vacation. Your freedom might be, I want to have a hobby. That's one thing I see with far too many clients is they don't have interests of their own. They don't have hobbies of their own. They don't have things that they do that they really enjoy. That's just for them. And some people, they joke about doctors loving golf, but I don't care if it's golf. I don't care if it's collecting artwork, it's reading, working out. What is it that's your interest? And do your finances through the practice and at home allow you to have that freedom to do the things that you want to do? And again, that too kind of goes back to the question number 1, and that's the stress level. So if you have the freedom, usually your stress level is commensurate with that, meaning if you have the freedom to do what you want, your stress levels are lower. So the next thing, the third question, is really about the freedom to retire, the freedom to retire comfortably. And that is, are you on that path to be able to do that? This entire thing that I'm talking to you about is really based on the practice, because you have to look at, is your practice feeding your stress levels, good or bad? Is your practice feeding your freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do? And is your practice feeding your ability to retire? So if you don't really have that plan, or you don't know how to do it, that is the kind of thing that I work with clients on all the time. I work with them on figuring out how to lower their stress, how to create that freedom, and how they are going to retire in the long run. So I am one of those pieces to that puzzle. And if this is the type of thing that interests you, you have ideas, if there's things that you've put into play, and I'd love to hear about it, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know what it is that you're doing. If you have questions that you would like me to help answer for you more directly, feel free to reach out and ask, and we'll schedule a strategy call and a discovery call to talk about you, your practice, and your future. Again, my name is Kevin Johnson. I'm the CEO of Leverage Consulting, as well as the creator of Leverage U, an online university.